Well, good evening, everybody. It's the 18th of July. July, if that's even a month. 2019. Now, I'm streaming this video live to YouTube, and then it will be archived on my YouTube channel for people to watch. Because what I wanted to do was a kind of introduction to PUBG, who perhaps haven't played it before, haven't played it for a while, but maybe are fans of DayZ. But what I really want to do is to give you a kind of really honest view of what PUBG is all about by doing a stream, because, you know, on a stream I can play for, I don't know, we could play 2 or 3 games or something like that, couldn't we, for about excuse me, for about an hour, and that would give you a really good idea of what PUBG is all about. I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of how you play the game, just really what it's like to play the game. I'll give you one tip though to start off with, and that is the training mode. The training mode is gold. That's where you go to learn the mechanics of PUBG and run around and shoot people and shoot at targets. But anyway, without further ado, let's dive in. So, what is PUBG? PUBG is a battle royale. It's a 100-to-1 battle royale that you can play either by yourself, which is my favourite way of doing it, in duos or in squads of 4. You parachute onto one of 4 different maps, and you can choose where you want to go depending on the flight path and how far you want to fly away from the flight path. You parachute in with nothing apart from your skills and the clothes on your back if you've chose to wear some, and then you've got to pick up your weapons from there. And then the fun starts. After a few minutes, and it depends on the map, there's different delays, a blue circle will come in. So this is Vikendi, the snow map, my favourite map. The flight path of the plane is going to be along here, like this. I'm where that yellow marker is there now. So what I do now is I choose where I want to go on the map. So I don't know, let's say I want to go somewhere like one of my favourite places is there. We might go there actually. That's a cool place. Nice and far away. And then a circle will appear somewhere on this map. And it's about on Vikendi. It's about a quarter of the size of the map. Maybe a bit bigger. Maybe like a third of the size of the map. And you've got to get to there before the blue comes in. So this blue force field, or this blue gas, I think it's a force field, comes in and forces everybody to move towards that circle. If you don't, you take damage and eventually die in that blue. Then once you get there, another circle appears, and then another, getting smaller and smaller and smaller until, you know, all the players are forced to shoot each other. And when the last one's there, you win. Now, what's really cool about PUBG is a similar thing to why DayZ is very cool, and that's what I would call the win state of the game. So, you know, how do you win a game? And sometimes there can be lots of different win states in a game. But I think one of the big draws of DayZ is that the win state, for me anyway, that I think of DayZ is surviving. If you're alive, you've won. You know, that's it. You're winning the game by being alive. You don't get any points for killing people. You don't even get any points for the time you've been alive. You don't get any points for the kit you've got, the bases you've built. There's nothing. Oh, I'm hoping I'll shoot a little bit early. You can have a look around then. Look at this amazing map. It's just about surviving, and if you're surviving, you're winning. Now, in PUBG, there is only one win state, and that one win state is being the last person alive when everybody else is dead. Now, I'm saying that for a specific reason, though. I'm saying that the fact that you don't have to kill everybody else. In fact, you can even win PUBG by not killing anybody at all, because people can die to the blue, they can have accidents, they can blow themselves up with grenades. Now, I have won. Hello, I could hear something then. Must have been somebody landing. I've won one game of PUBG where I didn't kill anybody, I think. Yeah, just one. So that's quite a rare thing. But you can win solo games of PUBG, or duos, or squads, by killing like one person. Probably the most common number of people I kill to win a game of PUBG is probably 3, I would have thought, maybe 2 or 3. And that's really cool, because what it means is you can play PUBG the way you want to play it, you know, not the way that the game forces you to play, because PUBG doesn't force you to play any particular way. So the way I play it, it tends to be fairly passively, in the fact that I avoid gunfights early game, you know, and I do that by jumping a long way from the flight path of the plane. I will deliberately avoid large areas, named areas like big towns and kind of choke points. And I'm always looking at the map, deciding, you know, how, there's the circle I was talking about. How can I get into the circle and avoid getting into gunfights? Because it's all about staying alive for me. That's most important. And for me, it's all about staying alive and getting into that top 10 situation, because when you're in a top 10 situation in PUBG, that's really kind of when the game starts and you're thinking about you might have a chance of winning it when you get to the top 10. And up to that point, it's very much a survival game, kind of like DayZ. Okay, you don't have to eat things at all. Actually, you do eat things, don't you? You have painkillers and you have energy drinks that you can use. Wrong button. Oh god, what have I done? What have I done? Yeah, and you make your way in it, so you can play that way. So, just like DayZ, I think helps older players like myself to be able to play the game and enjoy it. PUBG does as well. You know, you don't have to have these amazing Twitch skills in order to win. You can do it by using your kind of brain. Right, okay, so here we go. So what we're going to do here, should we switch to G36, sorry, I think we will. Let's get rid of these, get rid of that. Switch to the barrel. Pick that up. We'll use that. Okay. And so that's why PUBG is so good. Now, I'll also say that PUBG is my favourite video game of all time. It is very special indeed. The reason for that is that it's a good game anyway, but this game will give you the thrills like no other game will. The adrenaline rush you will get off PUBG when you're in the final circles is unbelievable. It's amazing. Hopefully we'll get to some final circles in this video, and you can kind of, I'll try and communicate how nervous I'm feeling and how my hands are shaking and my palms are sweaty that way. And that's what's really cool. It's also pretty cheap. Well, I say it's pretty cheap. I think it's about £25 PUBG on console. Goes on sale quite often. Don't need that anymore, do we? Just picking up my boosts. Might take that cheek pad in case we find something a little bit. And let's pick up that darker level 2 helmet. Right, okay, let's start moving towards the safe zone. So yeah, so I really like PUBG. And what's also nice about the fact that you have these games that are like, you know, half an hour chunks of your time where you can play the game for half an hour and play it like you like. You could play aggressive, you could drop hot in the middle. You know, I could drop like Castle or Podavosto or Mount Kenny or Cosmodrome, depending on where the flight path was, and you can have a good shootout there. Or you can play passively, which is a nice point like me, where you jump far, You look at the circle and you think, right, okay, where am I going to go? How am I going to avoid everybody else until we get into the final circles? And we do it that way. So here we go. So this is, again, this is Vikendi. This is the snow map. This is the last map that we've had. You've got Erangel, which is the original PUBG map. You've probably heard and seen that one. Looks very much like DayZ, Erangel. You've got Miramar, which is the second map that came out, which is the big desert map. It's kind of based on kind of maybe sort of Mexico, sort of South America, big dusty area, but huge map. Not the favourite amongst the player base because of its size. Maps on. Here we go. What we might do is swap to my favourite gun, the 416. In fact, I've got a better idea. Let's switch to the 36C. Let's swap the barrel for the 416. We can drop all this stuff. Just pick up the 5.56, which is considerably lighter than the. Right, so what have we got? Let's put that to single. Right, okay. And we can pick up more stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, level 2 first. The barrel, which is that machine gun I did have, is a very good gun. In fact, we could go double 416s, couldn't we? Look at this. Do we really want to go double 416s? No, we don't. It was too confusing when you're trying to decide. Ah, a DMR suppressor. So if we find a DMR, right, where's the blue? Still a long way off. So if you like DayZ, chances are you could well like PUBG as well. Oh, suits you, sir. This is. Don't need that anymore, but we do need. So we've got 30 bullets in this Kar 98. But the beauty with the Kar, actually, there we go. That's way too many. We don't need 75. There's only 50 people left. There we go. That'll do. Oh, the blue's coming in. I better get moving. How far have we got to go? Not that far. Yeah, so I really, really like PUBG. But the reason why I kind of started playing DayZ was because I need an alternative. Because being a competitive game, PUBG, you know, I mean, I've put thousands of hours into PUBG, thousands and thousands of hours. Because although I've put all that time into it, you know, sometimes you can't play the same game all the time when you've put that many hours into it. But the aesthetic of PUBG, you know, this post-apocalyptic apparently world, because we don't know that much about the story behind PUBG, although we are finding out more. There's recently just been a trailer for the new season that hints that maybe we're in some kind of big test, maybe some sort of big game show, some kind of Hunger Games thing, maybe, or some sort of selection process for special forces. But it looks similar to DayZ. In fact, I'm probably going to get this wrong now. Are we on the flight path yet? No, we're not. Probably going to get this wrong. PUBG started off as... Right, people have been here. I need to be careful. PUBG started off as a mod. I'm gonna say it started off as a mod for for DayZ, but am I wrong about that? That guy didn't see me, did he? Is the I'll have to stop talking and start concentrating. This is the famous Dino Park. Had my gun on single fire then. Rather embarrassing now that if the other guy hasn't died to the blue yet. Let's get over. Where is he? Ooh, that was nasty. Oh, there he is. He's dead. Somebody else has killed him. That's dangerous because they'll know where I am. Or he was sitting on top of somebody's box. Okay, all very exciting. So you can see how immediately in like 5 minutes you've had more gunfights than you'd have in like several days of playing DayZ. However, it's a lot easier to figure out where people are shooting you from in PUBG. The sound, I wouldn't say it's more realistic or anything like that. Because, you know, normally what would happen if guns were going off, there would be so much echo around, wouldn't there? You wouldn't really be able to tell where they're coming from. So you could say that DayZ is more realistic. So it could be that this is more friendly. So what I'm doing down here is when you take damage and then use bandages or first aid kits to heal you, you can only heal up to 75% in order to go the whole way. You need to drink boosts or eat painkillers. Now my goal always in PUBG is just to get get to the top 10. If I can get to the top 10, I'm happy. Well, I'm happy anyway. I enjoy being in the... Oh, look at this guy in front of me. Oh god, got sandwiched there between two players. Not much we can do about that. I should have really gone for the first guy with my M416 rather than the Kar 98. But there we go. Right, let's go in again. Alright, let's see what we've got in the Survivor Pass. So what PUBG does is every few months you get a Survivor Pass, which is a season pass like for Fortnite and Apex and Dota, League of Legends, all this sort of thing, where you can pay them about £10 and that gives you the opportunity to earn lots of cosmetic skins. So here we go, so these sorts of things. So I've just won some distressed jeans. Very nice. And then we've got a token which we could use in the token shop. Excellent. PUBG isn't known for having really good skins. This is the paid stuff down here. You know, they're kind of alright. Some of the weapon skins are quite good, but a lot of the time they're a bit naff, so but anyway, it's something to go forward to. We also have something called the Weapon Mastery System now, which is similar to you know, like in Call of Duty, where you are leveling up your guns. But it's kind of like that with these, but you're not really leveling them up in terms of they're not getting any more powerful. You're not unlocking any attachments. What you're doing is earning, I sound a bit embarrassed to say this actually, earning the ability to add these charms to your gun. Which, yeah, well, it's better than nothing, isn't it? And then you can win medals as well with different guns. So, it's all good. It kind of makes the game a little bit more interesting. Let's go in again, see what we got. And similar in a way to DayZ, in order to really get the most out of PUBG, you have to grind it. You know, a play session in DayZ can be a few hours, can't it? Well, in order to be successful in PUBG, a play session often has to be a few hours as well. You know, you can't just have one game of PUBG and expect to win. Or even have a good game, you know, because of all the randomness in the game. A good solo player, okay, I think has a win rate of about 10%. Right, we're on Erangel now, the original map. So 1 in 10 games, you know, if you're good, you'll win 1 in 10 games. When I was at my peak of playing PUBG, you know, when I was playing it for a couple of hours every night, solos every night, and really, you know, practicing doing all that sort of stuff, I got to about 10 or 11% win rate. You know, so that means I was losing 9 out of 10 games I was playing. I'm currently now, I think I'm at about 7% win rate, something like that, maybe even a bit less, because I don't play it as much, and I'm not as sharp generally as I used to be. So you can see, you know, in order to win one game, you have to, you know, play 10 games, and when you start off, you know, you won't really have a chance of doing that. But what's really cool about PUBG is that, you know, all you've got to do, as I say, to win is either stay alive to the end. That's the first thing, and then really just kill the last player. Let's make a snake, mate. Come on. Are you gonna make a snake? No, you're gonna do something odd. There we go. That's it. You follow me. That's the way we make a snake. So yeah, you can just be crawling in the grass, hiding in a bush, and then just shoot the last player with a shotgun to the face. Although I don't recommend you take shotguns into the final circles. You want an assault rifle or with an SMG, or a sniper rifle with an SMG and AR, and then and win that way. And that's how I won my first chicken dinner. In fact, it's how I've won many of my chicken dinners. Oh right, I'm forgetting to jump. Right, let's go to Georgie Pol. Again, we've got the Russian names, haven't we? In fact, let me PUBG Wikipedia. Let's have a look. What's the story behind PUBG? Right, so it started off as the Arma 2 mod, DayZ Battle Royale. Right, yeah. Right, yeah, so he was see, that Brendan Green was a big DayZ fan when it was a mod for Arma 2. And then he wanted, you know, some different ooh, I've gone to the water. Some different game mechanics. In other words, massive maps so people couldn't memorize it, and lots of immersive gameplay. Yeah, so there we go. So there is that link between DayZ and PUBG. In fact, you know, and just like in DayZ, you know, I could play in first person if I wanted to as well. Alright, I just jumped over a really amazing gun. That's the VSS, which is in DayZ, I think, isn't it? The VSS. In PUBG, this is a fully suppressed DMR, I guess you'd call it. It's not really a sniper rifle. Can fire automatic, fires subsonic 9mm weapon rounds. Which means that it is virtually silent. Oh, and here we have the Scar. Although, if I do find an SMG, like the Vector, which is my favourite SMG, we could go fully suppressed. Right, where's the circle? Well, the circle's pretty close. Okay, so dump that. Imagine if there was this much loot. In fact, let's drop that flash hider. We don't need that. In DayZ, it'd be much easier, wouldn't it? Instead of having to walk around for 3 hours trying to find stuff. Do we need that 7.62? What weapon could we possibly have? No, we're going to stick with the Scar, or we're going to pick up a Vector if we come across one. There's another DP28. Speak of the devil, what's this? Oh, it's a Uzi. But yeah, the VSS uses an awful lot of ammo, because basically what you do is you fire 20 bullets at each person. In case you're wondering about the how I'm looting, what you do is there's two ways of looting really. You can just point at stuff and then pick it up, or there's proximity looting like there is in DayZ. So you can that's what's near me. In fact, it's very similar, isn't it, to DayZ? Now we come to think about it. You don't have to worry about trying to find things in your bag though and fit things in. I've already got level 2. Okay, 1:30 to the circle starts to come in. Let's get up on the roof. What we'll do, there's a... I'm not sure what you describe it. What a lot of the work they're doing on PUBG, on Erangel specifically, which is an update that's already out on the PC. It's the PC's public test server, and it's coming out in consoles later on. Is they're kind of changing the Erangel map, updating it if you like, bringing it up to date with like Vikendi and some of the other maps, because some of the buildings like this one are a bit like, oh, what is this building all about? You know, is it a library? Is it a police station? And you could say that that kind of breaks the immersion a little bit. Okay. What was that there? Let's drop this 7.6, we're not going to be using that, are we? Okay, blue's starting to come in. Some mutants. Level 3 jacket, very nice. In fact, we could change to the 4-on-6. Let's change to the 4-on-6. Okay. So what we'd really like now would be a suppressor for an AR. That would be marvellous. Okay, we've got enough first aids. We could do with some painkillers. Oh, right, there we go. We've got a vector. Right, okay. So we can go fully suppressed. Let's drop all this. So all we need now is a vertical grip, and really we're good to go in the first circle without having to do much more. Let's pick up another smoke grenade. Now what I'd really like to do now is find a vehicle. Safest way to move around the map in solos is a vehicle. Squads, well it still is, but you've got to be careful in squads because a 4-man squad can blow up a jeep or something like that incredibly quickly. Did I just hear somebody? Nice if you could vault in DayZ as well, wouldn't it? bit of first person. Bit of gun. Examining. Nice. Oh, imagine having a mini-map in DayZ as well. Look at that. Look at that mini-map. Oh, I can really see where you're meant to be going. I have to look at the I Survive map all the time. I haven't run past the vehicle, have I? Here comes the blue. How embarrassing. Let's run. There could be vehicles over the top of this rise, actually, if we get down onto the road. The fur circles don't really hurt very much. You can stay out in the blue for a long time. Just keep taking painkillers and using bandages and the like. In fact, what we'll do is we'll be in the blue now, so if you look at my health bar on the bottom, you see it's going down very, very, very slowly. But with each successive circle, the amount of damage per second goes up, and also your distance from the safe zone as well means that the amount of damage goes up. So what we're going to look for now is we can see where the next circle is going to go, and you'll see that live now on the map. Dunk. So I like to put a marker, so we know the next circle will be south of the river. The rule for the circles, the only rule for the circle, is that the centre of the circle cannot be on water. That's the only rule. So you can end up with circles, very unusual ones. Classic one on Erringle, probably one of the most unusual circles, is where it will end with the centre of the circle in one of the bridges here in the sea. So people will be fighting along the bridges to get it, or they'll be underneath in boats. Oh, and another thing, in case you didn't know, say you get to the final circle, and that example there where, say, the final circle ended on the bridge. We'll go far off to the right. Right, what we really want now is a vehicle. After the very final circle, and the final circle is only probably about 20 meters across, if the people don't kill each other in that, the circle just disappears completely, and it's whoever can stay alive long enough. PUBG can actually teach you quite a lot about DayZ and vice versa as well. That looked like a person there, didn't it? In terms of, you should always be thinking when you're moving that somebody's aiming a sniper scope at your head. So the worst thing to do is just stay still. Because if you stay still, that gives them time to aim and fire. Right, we got any vehicles in PUBG? Unlike DayZ, the vehicles are ready to go. The only thing you've got to worry about is fuel, but I mean they come fueled up. I'm a bit out in the open here, I've got to be very careful. We're kind of moving towards where the flight path was down here, wasn't it? But we do need to be aware. I've got to get across this bridge. I'd rather do it. See that guy across the road there? Was that him? It's been a bit cheeky if it was. I need a vehicle, you see. Yeah, he's firing at me from across there. Let's see if we can tickle him back with the VSS. Yep. There he is. Go on, climb through that window. Oh, we got some hits on him. Didn't kill him though.
Very bad.
Don't think he can see me from here. So I could swim across here actually. That is an option. Go. Right, feet dry. Circle has moved. Right, so what you can see there are airdrops coming in. They're full of special weapons. More powerful weapons. But generally PUBG is very well balanced. In fact, even the super weapons, they're not super weapons, even the weapons in the airdrops are good, but you know they don't give you a game-winning advantage. That guy's got to come from over there now, isn't he? See if we can surprise this fella. careful here, because that other... has he got any throwables? He's got first aid kits. Oh my god, I've got 17 energy drinks. Why have I got 17 energy drinks? I need to get out of here. Right, where we? Oh, we got a long run. Let's get fully boosted. I do like that now. That's mental. Right, let's go. That way, if I kill anybody else, I need to loot them. I can still do that. Right, we need to go though. And probably, yeah, we're just going to run. Let's just go for it. It's probably going to end fairly quickly now because we've got so much. Because I didn't find a vehicle. So I can't really travel safely in between circles. You've got to risk it by running across country, and there's always the chance that somebody else will bump into you. You know, maybe they've been caught in a gunfight. Just one of the things that often happens is, you know, you will get. Oh man, I'm not going to make it. There's a chance we could die to the blue here. We've got plenty of first aid kits. This would be very embarrassing if I died to the blue in a video trying to introduce DayZ players. Because what did I say? The most important thing for me is getting to the top 10 in solos. How far past these houses? It's gaining on me really quick. This is really going to chunk this one as well. Bloody hell, that was lucky. Now there was a guy with an M24. Which is a really powerful sniper rifle. I was hoping he was going to stop. Now what's interesting about this circle is that it could end in Pachinki. And if it ends in Pachinki, where'd he go? Alright, still lying down. I'm gonna die to the blue. Oh, well that was exciting. Need a new helmet. Alright, here we go. Can we see that guy? Now, here we go. So, adrenaline starts to pump. Hands start to feel sweaty. Somebody coming in from the blue all the way over there. Okay, the circle hasn't been kind. We have to move. Some guys just run past me that way. Let's get to full boost. It's all a bit of a crapshoot now, this. Is he shooting at me? Blood pumping. Right, where's the centre of the circle? And there we have. Oh my god, what a game to finish with. What a game to finish with. There we have a chicken dinner. Oh, was that hectic or what? How good was that? That is PUBG at its best. Hectic, running around, the Vector doing its business, the VSS helping us along at the beginning. And so my friends, if you play DayZ and you want something in the same, can we say it's in the same universe? I don't think it really is, because we've had the zombie apocalypse in DayZ, but something nasty's happened in the PUBG universe, hasn't it? You can you come along and you can have the adrenaline thrill ride that is shaky hands, sweaty palms, adrenaline pumping through your body, and the amazing experience that is, I think, PUBG, especially solos, but you can play with your friends and enjoy stuff like that. In fact, I tell you what, I need to take a screenshot. But anyway, thanks for everybody who's been along for the ride. How many games do we play tonight? Do we play 3 games, 4 games, something like that? But that was a good one to finish on. So what I'll do is I'll finish this video now and say, if you enjoy DayZ, go on, give PUBG a go. It's a lot. It'd be really frustrating to start off with, but once you get into those top 10s and those final circle situations, oh my god, there is nothing like it. Okay, so that's enough from me. If you've enjoyed the video, hopefully you've enjoyed the end, hit that like button. If you haven't already, and I don't know why you haven't, hit subscribe. You can always support the channel through Patreon. We've got the Discord now as well, which I'll put a link to when I sort of archive this video. Thank you very much, everybody, and I will see you all again soon.